Mark, I got a random question for you. We were talking about like Fenway and Wrigley. Was there ever a time where people wanted to demolish those stadiums? Like I know now people
Yeah.
are like, oh, they're beloved. Everybody loves them. But
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there was like a point where everyone's like, this place sucks. We got to get rid of it, right? Like, but they kept it, right? Yeah.
More than once for Fenway. You know, in the early '80s, they wanted to build a multi-purpose stadium for the Patriots and the Red Sox. And then early, even like as late as the 1990s, early 2000s, they had a whole Fenway Park 2, which if you ever see the renderings of, is atrocious. The center, they made it look like Fenway Park, right? But it would be a modern version of Fenway Park. And so, but they still tried to do the way the center field, the seats in the right field kind of line up, and it would have been like 800 feet away from the top seat in center field. Google that sometime, or just type in MLB Cathedrals and Fenway Park concept, and you'll see it.
What stadium that they tore down? Like what stadium do you think, had they not torn it down and they just had updated it, would have been the best sort of, like what was the biggest mistake?
Like say Save Shai Park or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question, right? Because people can go back in time. Usually, the first answer is they would want to go back to Ebbets Field, right? Ebbets Field, no matter what, wasn't salvageable. It only sat like 32,000 people. There was no room for it to expand anywhere, and the neighborhood deteriorated quickly after. It was already deteriorating when the Dodgers left. So that one wasn't salvageable. Shai Park, same thing, only sat like 32,000 people. It's in North Philly. By the early 70s, the neighborhood had deteriorated, or actually 60s and 50s, and there wasn't really room to expand. Unfortunately, you couldn't have saved it. I would have loved, now, if I could go back in time and talk to convince city council or whoever, I would have loved to have them save the shell, like the rotundas, the outside brick. Converted it, made it into apartments or something. But kept the exterior. Same with all the other the classic ballparks. Crosley was small, didn't have really room to grow. The Sportsman's Park in St. Louis, same thing. And
what about Tiger Stadium?
Now that's where we're getting to.
Okay.
So the two that lasted the longest, that were actually salvageable, were Comiskey Park and Tiger Stadium. Now, Bill Veeck, if you remember Bill Veeck, owner of
I love Bill Veeck.
He's the best, right?
He owned 20 other teams at one point. He was the last owner that made his money from baseball. Everybody else now and even back in their 80s, they were the like Ray Kroc owned McDonald's, made his money from McDonald's. So every owner of baseball has made their money from something else. Baseball is just their toy. Right. Well, Veeck was different. He didn't have an outside business. That was his income, his only income. So, and he didn't really make that much money. So everything that he had to come for renovations and things like that had to come out of his pocket. Any investment. So unfortunately, when Veeck owned the White Sox, he let Comiskey Park go. And so by 1990, it really wasn't salvageable. Had they had the foresight in the early 80s to let's save this ballpark, it could be around. Now, Tiger Stadium, on the other hand, they did Google it, it's called the Cochrane Plan. They want, I forgot the name of the owner of the Detroit Tigers. It starts with an I.
Ilitch, I think.
Ilitch, he was the one that insisted. He wanted a brand new place right downtown. So he was the one that wanted to leave Tiger Stadium. Now, there was a group of people who was basically save Fenway, save Ferris, save Tiger Stadium. They did a whole study called the Cochrane Plan, and came up with a really good models of what it would look like and how it worked. They did this when they did the study. They found out that it was so overbuilt, in fact, that they could have removed half of the support columns.
Oh wow.
Not a lot of earthquakes
And it
in
was
Detroit,
still
too.
had been, it was still been up to code and able to hold up the upper deck. So what the plan called for, and and what I loved about Tiger Stadium is the lower deck the upper deck was so close to the field and on top of the field that even the very last row of the upper deck was about the same. I mean, a little higher, but not much higher than where the first row is now, where the suites are. Mm-hmm. So you could have put the suites right on the roof.
Yep.
You know, if you look at Tiger Stadium, it's kind of got this weird wooden press box that surrounds half the stadium. They would have just put all the suites right there.
Yeah.
And you could have done what they're doing now with all the little social spaces. You could have knocked out some seats in the outfield.
Yep.
And
I saw they preserved the field though. I saw the field is actually still there, right? Like
it was kept. They knocked it down. The last game was played in '99. I believe they knocked it down like 2008, 2009, right after the Super Bowl that they had there. But they left the field, and it was just the grass field for a long time. There was this volunteer group called the Naven Field Grounds Crew that would go out and they'd mow it. And people would stop by there before a game at the new place, Comerica Park, and play catch. And the flagpole was still there. It wasn't the same color because they used it. I believe it was the movie 61 with I forgot the name of the actor. He was in there was a movie
but it's the one about Roger Maris, right? Or
it was about Roger Maris, about 61. I think it was Billy Crystal was the
director. It was Billy Crystal. Yeah,
they used to use Tiger Stadium as to sub for Yankee Stadium, so they painted everything that light blue.
Yep.
So that the flagpole still has that light blue on it from the movie, and then it has the blue from the Tiger Stadium. Then it has the green from Tiger Stadium. If you go look at the flagpole, it's like 10 different colors. You can see each layer of paint that they put on, but it's still there. So I went the last time I was there was still grass. There's still they hadn't built the what's there now, and I believe it's a police. Help me out here, Alex. It's a pack something. It's a community center. But they kept the field. It's artificial
still there.
Now.
Yeah, because I was looking about doing a road trip there, and I was seeing my Airbnb would be actually kind of close by their old ballpark in Corktown, that neighborhood, Corktown right there. And it looks like there's a bunch of breweries and stuff. But
that's cool. I found a little when I went there last time, a cool little barbecue joint, just maybe a half a block away from where.
Yeah,
fantastic. So